Welcome back, or welcome to Noggin Comics Picks of the Week of the first week in September.
On the last day of August.
Yeah.
Yeah, what we're going to do actually is, you said the weekly picks, right?
Mm-hmm.
But let's be honest, in comic books, in the comic community, you can do an entire video and just do a report of the entire week.
Yeah.
And for example, you may be like, why is there a Batman 121 sitting right there, Mr. Freeze, first appearance? Well, if you follow us on Instagram, you probably know we posted this on Saturday night. We were gifted this. Shout out to Jason, Sam, Maurice, and the entire team at Issues Needed. We told them about a lot. We mentioned in a couple videos back we went to check out.
Mm-hmm.
And this is one of the books that was in there. Mm-hmm. And he knew that I was a huge Mr. Freeze fan. So, long story short, we had a fantasy football draft at Issues Needed. And Jason comes through the back door holding this book. Mm-hmm. And Nora's like, hey, look at that book. Look at that book. And he just gives it to us.
Yeah.
It was one of those moments where I just didn't know what to say or to do. Like, I was in complete shock. And I think there was mind games. I think Jason really wanted to win fantasy football. But no, major thank you though, and I'm very grateful for this. And like I said, I'm still kind of speechless over it, despite me talking for the last 2 minutes. But you know how we added cover of the week, last week. So we got 2 covers of the week. Well, I do. I don't know if you agree.
Yeah.
So let's move this beauty aside. And for one of the 2 covers of the week, because the cover of the week, in my opinion, is in our top picks of the week.
Yeah.
Is this Nikolas Draper-Ivey cover for Static Season 1. I just love this cover. It's just the minimalistic style.
Yeah. And
just how it looks like a movie poster really makes it pop to me.
Yeah.
And I know, like, every time I pick up a Static book, she's like, do you need both copies? And I'm like, absolutely I do. No one else is buying my house, and it feels like.
Yeah.
So. But yeah, let's dive into our top picks of the week. Well, before we do that, do you want to talk about Shang-Chi? Or, because, Kang and I talked for an hour. Yeah. But what was your reactions of Shang-Chi?
Shang-Chi I really liked. I thought it was a really great movie overall. The action was just awesome. The visuals, like, just everything about it was really beautiful, I thought. So definitely go see it in the theater if you can.
Watched the video we posted 2 days ago. So
some minor spoilers, but not really.
The only spoilers if you actually seen the movie, I feel like, because the names we're bringing up, you don't know until you really dive into the film.
Right.
Besides a few cameos.
Yeah.
But alright, so let's dive into our top 5 picks, because we only have one book that's different this week.
Yes.
I mean, our order is very much the same, but one book.
Yeah.
So how about you throw up the top first pick of the week?
Alright, so both of our 5th pick was Colin Bunn and Fran Galan's Lucky Devil #2 from Dark Horse. Yeah, I think we both, or maybe I had the #1 issue on a list a few weeks back.
We both did.
We both did.
Yep.
So this is the second issue that kind of pushed the story along, I thought.
It was a lot different from that first issue. Because I admit, while reading it, I'm like, this is not tying into what I read in the first issue. But when you realize what's actually going on, it does tie in.
Yeah.
And this is Colin Bunn's strongest writing. I think this and Basilisk.
Yeah, I think this one's a little more gruesome, actually.
I think he's having more fun with this one.
Like, there's a lot of... the
artwork is good in it.
Yeah, the artwork really makes things pop. And yeah, there's a pretty good cliffhanger at the end. But yeah, I already added this book to, like, our poll because I...
Work at a comic shop.
Yeah, and I really like it, so...
Yeah, like I just mentioned, this is Colin Bunn's
That
Basculus is, I'll say Basculus above it because it's, it's what, issue 4 now? Issue 5?
that almost made my list. And then also, the last book you'll ever read is also good.
Yeah.
So.
Alright, so now this is my number 4. You can put it up there. It's also my cover of the week. I'll admit, when Peach Momoko said that she was going to do interiors, I was afraid. Like, I know I love her cover arts. Although the funny thing is that this variant isn't Peach.
Yeah, it's Jenny.
It's Jenny Frison.
Frison.
It's just that, she's looking good in that cover. But it's I love how the Nikolas space is used to in it. But, I'm surprised this didn't make your list. I mean, yeah, I understand why your forts made the list. But...
It was narrow. It was, like, a very close second.
I just love the, like... The storyline was okay in this, but the art, the kineticness, the new visions of the characters, like you got Storm that looks like a baby, that's really cute.
And
Sabretooth is a badass in it.
Thor
at the end, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and the thing is, like, we watched a lot of other YouTube videos. And I'm gonna give a quick shout out here to Comics That Break Your Heart. Jen. And Jennifer and Mars, they did their live stream yesterday. And Mars made a good point. I mean, Mars is, like, she doesn't understand why they're having number 1
on each story.
Yeah. And I get it. It can be irritating.
Yeah.
But I do know that once this is released in a trade,
it's
going to be gorgeous. It's going to make sense.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
So. But yeah, let's dive into your number 4. I mean, because this almost made my list, but...
Yeah.
I when you said that Demon Days didn't make it, I'm like, well, we gotta talk about it still. Yeah.
But yeah, my number 4 is Batman Fear State Alpha, James Tynion, was it Miguel Federici? Oh my gosh.
Federici?
Yeah. So the artwork is different, but I think it's still really good.
It's not your boyfriend.
It's not Jimenez. Jorge. But yeah, I'm really excited for Fear State, and there's a panel in there with a character that was teased to come back, and I was just waiting for it, and finally it happened.
Are we talking about a certain character reuniting with another character?
Yeah.
So, we want to dive into spoilers. I mean, we kind of did with Demon Days, but
yeah,
that doesn't have any ties to anything in the MCU, but not MCU, but Marvel Universe. That interaction and what one of the characters says to another, how important the relationship is. I love that. I like that part of the book. But besides that, why did you feel like this was such a good book?
To be honest, I'm just really excited. Like, I thought that, I mean, things are building, and now you're making me second guess my life. Like, it's just kind of more of an intro into what I think we're gonna expect out of Fear State. A lot of cool appearances by the Bat family. You have Batwoman in there. You got Signal. Dick Grayson, like my Nightwing shirt.
I remember you did make a notion that you did like what they did with the character, how they kind of flipped them.
How they kind of flipped this character, and then how that went into what Kyle was saying earlier about kind of a, I don't know, reincarnation of a character that I was really excited for. But yeah, just a lot of moving parts, and I think a lot of people may not like that, but I kind of like how it's teasing or setting up what is going to happen in Fear State, and I'm all in on Fear State. I'm going to buy every tie-in. So, yeah, I'm just really excited for it.
And I know you're going to disagree with me, and you might even slap me across the table here. I just hope they don't do what they're doing for our Bounty Hunters.
Why?
I feel like War of the Bounty Hunters is lasting too long.
I mean, I disagree, but okay.
Well, I'm just saying, like, Fear State, like, you look at the back, you look at the whole catalog, what you need to pick up. And it reminds me so much of what they're doing as far as Bounty Hunters.
Isn't that what an event is, though? Like,
but events can get exhausting.
Marvel events, yes.
Marvel, yeah. I mean, am I being optimistic about Fear State? Yes, I feel like it could be really good.
Yeah.
I love Tiny Onion.
Yeah.
But
I mean, it's his last hurrah type of thing.
It was Batman.
With Batman.
Yeah. But yeah. So let's talk about a terrific. These next
Moving
three,
on.
These next three we agree on.
Yeah.
And I think this is the first time you've had a Marvel book that wasn't Star Wars so high on your list.
Yeah, mainly because it's Tom Taylor.
But that's pick 2. Spoilers. Let's talk about number 3.
Okay, Geiger number 6 is the last book in the first arc. Yeah, what'd you think?
Oh, when I got done reading this, I'm like, I need to read that 80-page giant,
yeah.
and I can't wait for Junkyard Joe.
Yeah, there's a spin-off series of a character they just introduced.
They kind of read your timeline.
Yeah.
Because Jeff Johns and Gary Frank are gonna introduce a team.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if did you catch on to that?
Yeah.
And this team is gonna be almost kind of like I want to compare it to Spawn's universe because it's jumping into different time periods.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah,
I'm looking forward to the continuation of this universe. The art, Gary Frank's art is phenomenal.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so, mainly that's why I'm really liking Geiger.
And the ending kind of got you teary-eyed. I'm not gonna lie, like that was an emotional ending.
Yeah.
But although it's still, compared to our top pick of the week, it's not that emotional compared to that book. But yeah, if you Geiger, get it in trade. I think it's gonna look gorgeous in trade. Mm-hmm. The 80-page giant is gonna be phenomenal.
Yeah, and also just the story with who Geiger. I can't remember his actual name that they call him in the comic. With the kids, like that's just kind of a
Turok.
Yeah.
Yeah. Turok, something like
Not
that.
Turok.
Well, it's Tariq.
Tarek. But yeah, and like kind of his culmination with the relationship he has with these two kids that he finds and kind of takes under his wing. I thought that kind of did a good job of wrapping.
Yeah.
Somewhat. So.
Well, yeah. That's where that emotional pull comes from.
Yeah.
So, let's just be honest. All 3 of these picks were just they're gonna tug at your heartstrings basically. Yeah. But this book, second book of the week, which if it wasn't for the brilliance number 1 here, this would have been the topic of the week. Yeah. Dark Ages, like she mentioned earlier, it's Tom Taylor, so like you knew it was gonna make the list.
Well, I read the preview way back when.
Free Comic Book Day of 2019, 2020, something like that.
2020 did not happen, so 2019.
Yeah. So and whew, don't get attached. But I know I'm gonna love this book. I basically anything that Tom Taylor does, I enjoy. My problem is, the only problem I have with this book is a time jump. Yeah. Because I want to know what happens in those 7 years. But that being said, though, maybe we go back into it. Yeah. Or maybe this is just like the snap in the MCU.
Could be.
So.
Or, he can go back and explain things. I don't know if this got me as excited as when I started reading Deceased, but...
You're also more of a DC person now, too.
I am. But I kind of like the way that...
Is it Ian Campbell did the artwork?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ivan Coelho.
Ivan Coelho. His artwork was good. I really enjoyed the artwork. Yeah. And it's like... I love seeing Marvel do these Olive Universe, if not like the What If series. Because like Spider Shatter... Life Story. I've been loving those. So give us an event like this. It introduces a new character that looks like a complete badass. Yeah. So it does. And using the entire universe, using all characters, not just focusing on a select few characters. Yeah. So that's what I really like about it. Yeah, I mean.
Yeah, I'm excited.
This is the reason for me. Dark Ages made the list for why Fear State made your list. Yeah. So.
All right, and then number 1, Many Deaths of Laila Starr. Number 5, Ram V. Oh my gosh, Felipe Andrade. Yeah, this is the last issue of the series, and I'm sad. So good.
I wouldn't be sad because honestly,
it did a good job.
This is Ram V's master class of writing. Basically, like. I want you to read this, and I'm going to show you how you write a comic in the future. And if you look at all these issues, he has a very specific way of telling each story.
Yeah.
You had one that's for cigarette. You had one, building. Like.
Yep. So.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it's just the art. The Felipe Andres art works extremely well with Andrade works extremely well with Ranvi.
Yeah.
And I just feel like they should team up on more stuff, honestly.
Yeah.
I mean, what, these Savage Shores?
No, I think I could be wrong. Yeah, never mind.
Yeah. No, honestly, like Ranvi is a top writer right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
And like, if this book does not win an Eisner next year, then what the hell? So
I just want to read it all at once again.
in trade.
No,
I think this book in trade, you can sit down and absorb it in one sitting.
Yeah.
You might be the emotional wreck by the time you're done, but
that's how it's kind of meant to be done.
So.
Yeah.
Well, and even he said that this book has ties to Sandman and Death.
Yeah.
Like it was influenced. Yeah.
Inspiration.
So, and I mean, if you can compare it to Sandman, I mean, you must be doing something right.
Okay, you can't speak because you haven't read it, but yes.
But I do know the legacy of Sandman. So, but yeah, what did you guys read this week? Is there a book that's on our top 5 or 6? Because I had to add not Dark Ages, Demon Days.
Static. You had to add.
I asked that as cover.
Oh.
That was a cover of the week.
Yeah. Sorry.
Well, next to Jenny's Demon Days. But yeah, let us know what books you read this week and what did you like this week. As well as, did you watch Shang-Chi?
Yeah. Definitely.
And also, so loaded questions, like, because I want that competition to be popping finally.
Yeah.
What's your grail? What's the one book that you want in your PC?
Yeah.
So, yeah, do you want to do the sign off?
You know what to do. Like, share, subscribe.
Definitely
share. Comment.
Share too.
Yeah.
If you like this video, share it with your friends. Tell them, because we want the subscribers. We're 9 subscribers away from that 50 milestone. And if you hit that this week, potentially have that tattoo by New York Comic Con.
Ah.
Yeah. So, but like she said, thank you for watching. Like the video, because it helps us out a lot. Subscribe, almost at 50, and comment all those questions I've asked. A lot of questions, but need some interaction here.
Yeah.
I want some interaction, I should say.
Do some homework.
I want to talk to the community.
Do some homework.
So.
Bye.